Hey everyone, my name is Heather Kristansky. I am CEO and founder of Business Refresh, and I am here today to talk to you about your Facebook analytics. So, what we're going to look at today is how to read your Facebook analytics or your Facebook insights, and what you really need to be on the lookout for, what you can kind of ignore, and what is important, and how you can use this information to drive more engagement to your page. So what I'm going to do here, I've pulled up, this is just my apparel company here. You can see we have just over 15,000 likes, and you can see our post reach is at just under 12,000 people reached this week. Now, the reason why I chose this page to share with you instead of my coaching business page is because this page here has been around for a lot longer, and we have a more in-depth amount of information in the insights to share with you. So I'm just going to go in here into the insights, and you'll have a tab similar to this on your Facebook page. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through each of these tabs. So I'll take about 45 minutes of your time today going through any of this. And if you do have any questions, you can feel free to join my free mastermind group on Facebook. Just search for Social Media Hotspot and request to join. And any questions that you might have with respect to that, I will certainly answer them within that forum. So the first thing we're going to look at here is the overview. And this is where a lot of people get pretty freaked out, and kind of where the majority of people just stop looking and stop digging into their insights. So what I want you to just do with this is use it as just that. It's an overview. It is not a deep dive. This is just a complete overview of your page. I don't want you to spend a lot of time here, because so many people, they'll see maybe one of these triangles, if they see it be red and pointing down, they'll be like, oh my gosh, I'm doing something wrong, I need to fix it. And that's not really the case. We're going to get into the tabs that are the most important for you to pay attention to on a more regular basis. This one right here, I want you to look at it less often, and I want you to just sort of glance over it pretty quickly. So just to go over what each piece of these mean. So page likes is pretty simple. That is the number of people who like your page. And we have your total page likes versus your new page likes for the period listed above here. So this is the 7 days between the 1st of the month and the 7th of the month. So we had 21 new page likes, which isn't bad given that we had been driving page likes via ads there for a little while, and we completely stopped all of our advertising on this page in order to test a new engagement strategy that is working really well for us. But we wanted to make sure that we had very clean data with no ads and only organic results being deciphered here in these insights. So everything that you see here is being driven completely organically. We do not have any sort of ads that are driving any of this where we have in the past. So over here, reach is really important. So our reach was 11,937 people. And because we've been focusing on really increasing our reach on this page, the fact that it's up 115.4% is really great. It makes me very happy. But if you see that go down, that's okay. I want you to just think about why. So did it go down because you didn't post as often last week? A lot of people will be like, oh, Facebook isn't showing people my stuff. Well, no, it is up to you to make sure that people are seeing what's on your page. And you do that by posting regularly, by posting often, and by creating content that is the stuff that your people want to see, not just pushing your product. Okay, if you're always just talking about your product, guess what? People aren't going to come back to your page. Now, the Facebook algorithm has changed. It changed it was around April. And what happened before is that when somebody liked your post, it would show to all of their friends that they liked that post. And what Facebook discovered is that Facebook users don't really care about what their friends are liking. They want to be shown things that they like. So now everything is driven by the time spent looking at posts that are similar to yours or looking at posts on your page. And then engagement with your page is also a part of that. So somebody, if I were to like a post on your page, I would be more likely to see your posts in the future. But that would not push through to my friends anymore. Okay, so that's really important to know that that change has happened because people are still kind of using Facebook in the old way, and I need you to start using Facebook in a way that is going to drive you the results with the new algorithm, and that is paying attention to what people want on your page, paying attention to what they're engaging with, what they're clicking on, what they are spending time doing. And then also, where else are they hanging out on Facebook? Where are they spending your time if it's not on your page? I have a great training for that. It's only $39. You can get it off of heatherpristansky.com by going to the webinar registration and going down to the bottom of the page where I have my previous webinars, and that one is still available for purchase. They're just $39. You can find out where your clients are hanging out on Facebook and how to get them to hang out on your page. So today we're going to find out what people are doing on your page, and you can go over there to find out, how to get people to do more of what you want them to. So engagement is also very important. So as I said, this is not pushing stuff out to their friends anymore unless they're sharing something. So shares are really important, but you need to be careful here. So many people will say, share this to blah, blah, blah. So as per Facebook rules, you can't say something like, share this to enter to win. So many people do Facebook share contests, but it actually is against the Facebook rule guidelines, and your contest could be taken down. The other thing with posts that say, like this, click this, share this, that is called clickbaiting. And that is something that will get your post penalized and not seen as often in the newsfeed. So I want you to be very, very careful about doing things like that. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to glance over these so we can see, okay, our posts were like 242 times in the past week. We had 19 comments, 107 shares, and 1,458 post clicks, which a click is when they do something that is not a like, comment, or share. So it could be something like they clicked through a link. It could be something like they wanted to read more because your post was longer and they condensed it in the news feed. That would be a click. A click would be that they clicked on your post to get to your Facebook page because they wanted to see your actual page itself instead of just something in the newsfeed. So they wanted to see more. So clicks are really good things to look for because I'm going to show you this a little bit later on. People don't tend to like and comment and share on a whole lot in Facebook. They really pick and choose what it is that they're going to like and comment and share on, especially what they're going to comment and share on, because every time they comment on something, now whenever somebody else comments on it, they're going to get a notification in the notification center unless they go in and turn that off. So for some people that can get really annoying, and it actually makes it so that they don't want to comment on as much as they would otherwise. So also in here are our top 5 most recent posts. I don't really look at this a whole lot because I want to see this information a bit more in depth. And then we can also see here, we've got some pages to watch. So we can kind of see in here, okay, so June North Designs, they've got so many page likes, posts from this week. They posted 12 times. Engagement this week, 810. So we have some work to do definitely to catch up to them. Although if I look in terms of, our actual totals here, we're right about on point to the number of likes they have, to the number of likes that we have. We are doing a little bit more work to get there. However, that's because we're building a following. So when we built this page, we weren't seeing that much. And we also have suggested pages to watch. I'm not going to really go through that because what in my where to find where your clients are hanging out on Facebook, you're going to learn how to find the pages that they're actually hanging out on, not the ones that Facebook suggests to you, because it is actually different. So I don't want you to look at that at all. I'm not going to spend too much time here in likes, reach, and visits, but I will show you how to use this. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you, you can actually slide this around, and what it's going to do is change this graph down here. This graph down here is a blown up 2-week view, whereas this one right here is giving us lots and lots and lots of times. So we can go 1 week, 1 month, or 1 quarter. And what we want to see here, so I can go right back into April 6th, and I can see our total page likes were 8743. And now in July, you can see where we shut off our page like ads. Our page likes are 15,572. So really happy with that, happy on the growth, happy that it's continued to go up, happy that, you know, right here, we're not seeing it go, woo, like right back into the tanker after we turn off our ads. I'm really happy to see that. Net likes. Here's what I don't want you to do. I don't want you to freak out about the red stuff. Unlikes are just people who are telling you that, hey, you know what? They checked out your page. They aren't your ideal client, so they left. Goodbye. All right. I want you to just be like, all right, goodbye. Sayonara. We'll see you later. Because here's the thing. I don't want you to be fretting about people unliking your page because they're telling you that they're not interested in your product or service. I want you to focus on these people, the people who are coming to your page, the people who are interested in your product or service. It is much more important to focus on the people who are more likely to buy than to focus on the people who are leaving, okay? You can actually see in here when you click on these things down the side, it's going to give you, so unlikes, we're averaging 3, which on close to 16,000 people is nothing. I'm not worried about that at all. Organic likes, our average was 2. Again, I'm not worried about it because we aren't trying to get likes at the moment. Our focus has been on engagement. But if you were trying to get organic likes and that was your goal, then that's something that you might want to take a peek at. Paid likes. So obviously our average this period is 0 because we are not running any ads, and our net likes. So again, I don't want you to freak out about something like this. We knew because we completely changed our Facebook strategy that we might lose a few of our fans before we start seeing an increase again. People don't like change, and the people who do stick around are going to be the ones who hop back on board, become more engaged, and are the ones that we want to nurture. So we're doing an exercise right now to get out the dead waste, get out the people who don't want to be there so that we can really focus on the people who do want to be there. Where your page likes happened, I typically look at this not a whole lot. It's nice to see, I guess. So we can see that, you know, from page suggestions. So that's when Facebook does push out your page as a suggestion to other people's friends who have liked your page and things like that. It's nice to see, but you can see it doesn't really give you a whole lot. You might get a few page likes from something like that. It's not something that is going to make or break you. So this stuff down here, not really that important. This is more so Facebook trying to win your love, okay? So you can see here page suggestions on your page, API. I don't really care where my likes are coming from. I would care more about if I was running an ad. Then I want to see how many likes are coming from my ads and how that is varying over time so that I can take a look at the copy in my ads and make sure that I'm using the best type of copy. All right, reach. So let's get into reach. All right, so once we're into reach here, what I want to show you is this is something that I do want you to pay attention to because the number of people that are being reached per day by your posts is going to be pretty low compared to the number of people who liked your page. And there's a few reasons for that. A, not everyone's on Facebook all the time. All right. People are on Facebook for approximately, on average, 40 minutes per day. So if you post it at 9 a.m. and they're not on Facebook until 9 p.m., guess what? They're not going to see your stuff because there's so much other stuff that is coming through the pipeline that is competing for that space on their Facebook timeline. So they're not necessarily going to see your post. This is why we suggest that you post a lot more often. So my suggestion to you is to start with 4 times per day. And you might be like, oh my gosh, I can't post 4 times per day. Are you crazy? You need to post 4 times per day. Okay, we're going to see it a little bit further on here. But what I want you to do is I want you to do 1 post promoting your product. I want you to do 1 post that is something that you see works on other pages that are like yours. So maybe it's a quote, maybe it's a video, maybe it's, something like that. I want you to do one post that is great content. So that could be a link to an article. It could be a link to your blog post, nothing promotional. Okay. And I want you to do one post that is some sort of lifestyle picture, something that they can connect with you on. So it might be a picture of you and your cat. That's okay. The reason why we want to do some sort of lifestyle picture is because people want to connect with humans, okay? So even the top brands will post lifestyle pictures, behind the scene pictures, that kind of stuff. So if you're a business, behind the scenes stuff is really great stuff to share with people. It puts that human element into it, and those are the things that are going to get the people engaged on your page. And I want you to make sure that you're spreading these posts out throughout the day. So you might do 8 a.m., 12 p.m., 4 p.m., and 8 p.m. And I'm going to show you in the insights how to choose when it is that you're going to schedule these posts. I do suggest that you schedule them, or else you're not going to do it, okay? Or else you're going to be setting an alarm for every 4 hours and you're going to be going a little bit crazy. But if you aren't posting 4 times per day, you're going to be missing out on a great deal of your audience. And look what happened here for us, okay? Here we were posting maybe once per day. We had organic reach, 30, 29, 214. Look what happened over here when we started posting sometimes 10 times per day. And I say post up to 12 times per day. 4,089, up from 20 just a couple weeks ago. That's crazy, right? And that is all just from posting more of what people want to see. And then what happens is you stay top of mind because they're seeing your name pop up over and over and over again. And then you start to sell more, okay? So post reach, we want to be paying attention to this. So we know now what we're doing. We're going to keep doing it because it's growing our engagement. I don't want you to worry so much about the day to day. So if I were freaking out about this, going from 4089 to 3763, then I'm never going to slate. Because at the end of the day, the content that you post and when people are in line and, when different events happen and, whether it's a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, all of those things do matter as far as when people are going to see your posts, but it's also going to affect your engagement. Here's the other, or your reach, sorry. Here's what else is going to affect your reach. If somebody else posted something that is just way too cool, it's going to affect your reach. Your reach is going to probably go down a little bit if, something else is competing for their newsfeed that is really popular. So last year, the Ice Bucket Challenge was crazy. It was dominating news feeds. And because so much of our newsfeed timeline was dedicated to that Ice Bucket Challenge, a lot of companies' organic reach was down because they couldn't compete with all of these posts that friends and family members and companies and all of these posts that people were doing. So I want you to not really worry too much about dips like that. I want you to more so worry about, and this is the weekend, so I'm not as worried about that because we're not posting as much. All right, but I want you to really look at the overall picture. How are things growing, right? Put together your strategy for that. This stuff down here, this is just your likes, comments, and shares. Not really that important because we already looked at it. So I'm going to skip over that. This I do want to spend a little bit of time on though. All right. So what I would be most concerned about is reporting as spam. If you see that people are reporting your posts as spam, you need to stop what you're doing immediately and you need to rethink the copy and the photos that you're using in your posts, okay? Because apparently you're coming off as spammy. So you really want to look at the culture that you're trying to build within your Facebook page. Hide all posts is the other one that I would be concerned about. So I'm not as concerned because they still have chosen to like my page. They could have come in and unliked the page. But the fact that they are asking to hide all posts probably means that they're not getting the value that we were hoping that they were. Don't worry if it's something like this. 1, okay? 1, I'm not going to worry about. If I had 50, I would be worried and I would be looking at the posts that I've done over the past couple of weeks to see why it is, what changed, how has my engagement changed, and if for some reason my engagement has gone up, then I'd be like, okay, I'm okay with that. My engagement is going up, and these are just people who are not my peeps. All right. But if your engagement isn't going up or your engagement is going down and people are hiding posts, you're doing something wrong. Total reach. So again, this is very similar to what we saw up top, but you can actually divide it out by organic and paid. So clearly we're not paying for ads, so our paid reach is 0 on this. Organic, so I can see my average last period is 363. It's essentially taking all of this data, grouping it by week, and giving us the average. Okay, and then we can see our average in this period went up to 1522, and then we're going to have, when we finish off this week, we'll have this period as well, and I hope to see that go up from there. Let's go into visits now. So this right here, I always find this a little bit interesting. So what I want you to look for in the page and tab visits is just to kind of see the majority here is going to be timeline. It's always going to be timeline first. After that, you're going to be looking more, sorry, my dog's going off here. He's always going off. So I'm just going to close the door. What I'm going to be looking at here is more timeline, and you also want to be looking at your info tab. So if you have a lot of people going into your info tab, we don't. It's only 2, 0, 2. I'm not that worried about it. But if you have a lot of people going into your info tab, what that might tell you is that you do not have strong call to actions on your posts. And people are trying to figure out how to buy from you. And it's not abundantly clear how to buy from you. Okay, so if you have a lot of people going to the info tab, something needs to change. You need to be having a stronger call to action on your posts, and you need to be more clear about how to buy without coming off as spammy. It's a little bit of an art to it. The photos tab. So I have noticed in certain weeks, it's usually when we get new styles, but you can kind of see that people are going into our photos tab instead of just clicking through the albums. So, you know, that might just be an indicator that people like seeing your photos, that you should post more of them. You should post more albums, things like that. Okay. The likes tab. You shouldn't really have too many people going to your likes tab. For me, it's always my competitors. And I've actually tracked that before to see who it is that's going to my likes tab. It's just my competitors. They just want to see who's liking my page. So I don't worry about that at all. And neither should you. External refers. So here is one place that I don't necessarily want to see the numbers to be high. Okay, I would rather see a lower number here because I want to ensure that that people are going to the right places to buy my products. So here's the thing. People come to Facebook to hang out. They don't come to Facebook to buy. I would rather, if somebody is on Google, that they're landing on my website, and I'd be looking at my Google Analytics for that versus landing on my Facebook page. So if you are receiving a lot of traffic from Google, it is a hint that either you need a website because you don't have one, or it's a hint that if you do have a website, that baby needs to get optimized, because if your Facebook page is showing up before your website, you have a problem. Okay, so this is something that can be inherently clear from your external referrers. Other than that, I'm not going to worry about it too much. I know because our website link is there that the website link is working to my Facebook page. That's great. It's a great verification. That's about it on the visits tab. So now we're going to get into some more juicy meat and potatoes type of thing. What I want you to look at here is when your fans are online. Now you can see for my fans, it is pretty well equal all the way across the board. You might see that things drop off on the weekends. You might see that certain days of the week are higher for you. I want you to make sure that you take advantage of those things. So this is something that's really important that you pay attention to. The other thing that's really important you pay attention to is this right here. So the times of the day that people are online. So for us, the majority is between about 10 a.m. and midnight. Okay, so all the way through here, right up till midnight. Around midnight through really 9 to 10 a.m., they're not really, I'm not necessarily going to be posting there. So I want you to be really cognizant of that. For many of you who are in business, you're going to find that the majority of your people online are likely going to be first thing in the morning, between 2 and 4 in the afternoon, and between 8 and 11 at night. So you may not see as much of a curve. This is because I have a younger audience on this page because we're an apparel page, but I want you to be paying attention to this and posting only during these peak times because the number of posts that you're doing is limited. So unless you're doing 24 posts a day, I want you to make sure that you're picking your times appropriately. So I'm going through here. I'm going to post at 9 p.m. Going through here, anytime really in here is a great time for me to post. I'm going to post at 2 p.m. That's a great time for me to post. And use your scheduling tools. So Facebook actually has a scheduling tool, as does Hootsuite, or you can use Sprout Social. There's a number of tools that are out there. Now here, this looks familiar because back on the overview page, we had our last 5 posts, but here it actually gives us all of our posts. So to see that, I'm actually going to go into post types instead. And we're going to wait for this to load. It always takes a minute. There we go. So, and I'm just going to flip down here into exclude targeted posts. That's important to do because if you have a post on which you are boosting that post through a Facebook ad, this is going to be skewed in that boosted post is obviously going to have a much larger reach and engagement because you've paid for that. So we want to see the things that organically are getting the best reach and are getting the best engagement. So for us, links are getting the best reach and photos are getting the best engagement. We want to keep that in mind. Are we going to post statuses that don't have a picture and that don't have a link? Probably not, because they're not reaching anyone and nobody's really clicking on them. Nobody really cares that when we're posting a status without a link or a photo. Videos are another really great one. So test videos on your page. Videos are my number 1 on my coaching page, on the Heather Prastansky page. By far, it's like quadruple the engagement of anything else that I do. So all posts published, what I like to do here is I like to sort it by reach. And because this is going back to April, we're going to get a few promoted posts in here. So that's the dark orange. What I want is the light orange stuff because I want to see what is getting the best type of reach organically. And I want to be paying attention to the posts that people are responding to. And I also want to sort it the other way, this way. So to look at, this one bombed, this one bombed. Okay, so we're not going to do a lot of these sorts of things anymore. Obviously, 4th of July, that sort of thing, it's a one-day thing, and that is something that we wouldn't necessarily do that often. But, stuff like this. So the questions of the day, they're not rocking as hard. That's going to be something that we're going to look at and that we're going to stop doing. So with this here, I want you to do a stop, start, do more of analysis. I want you to say, I'm going to stop doing these types of posts based on the engagement and the reach. I'm going to start doing these types of posts because this is a new idea I had. And I'm going to do more of these types of posts where we're getting lots of engagement. Something that we tested on this page was the difference between putting a quote on a bright background like this one and putting a quote on a really washed out background that you see a lot, like, I got so many posts on here. I'm going to try to find something like this one. Okay, so stuff like this with a really washed out photo for us, something that is a much brighter photo that stands out from the newsfeed, it converts much better. Okay, so I want you to keep that in mind. Now, under engagement, we can also sort by post clicks. There we go. So really interesting. This was not even a promoted post, but definitely our current style album gets a ton of clicks. That's the same thing. These are all current styles. This got a ton of clicks. This was a link. So I want to check this out. I want to be like, okay, my audience, what do they like? What is the culture on my page? Culture on my page is people are loving moms. They're loving the positive body image. They're loving those sorts of posts. We're going to do more of that. People loved this post because it was related to fashion. So fashion is what we do. They loved that they had this, way of inexpensively recycling their shirts. It did pretty well. We reached lots of people here. We reached almost a third of our audience. So we're going to do more of stuff like that. We might even try out some videos on stuff like that. Okay. Now you can also go in here and you can sort by your likes, comments, and shares. There we go. So this stuff, I'm going to ignore this because it was a paid ad. But likes, comments, and shares, oh my gosh, this right here, quotes, do so well for us on a bright background. Okay. So this one right here did really well. Look at the one right under it. It's another quote on a bright, colorful background. So quotes on bright, colorful backgrounds do really well on our page. Now, you might be thinking, well, that's not going to sell me anything. But yes, it is. Because when somebody's liking, commenting, or sharing on a quote post, they're telling Facebook, I like this company. I like this page. Show me more of that page. So when you do post a launch or when you do post a sale that you have going on, your post is more likely to show to them and it's going to boost your sales. Videos, we actually do not have videos on this page yet, but you can see in here your video views, organic versus paid, and more importantly, you're going to see 30-second views. So that's the number of times your page videos were viewed for 30 seconds or more, or if it's less than 30 seconds, it's 97% of the video. Okay, so that is important because if you have a lot of video views, but you have next to no 30-second views, it means that the very first part of your video was really boring and people just clicked off. It wasn't what they wanted to hear, or maybe that it didn't match up with the copy that you had told them that this video was about. Top videos, those sorts of things. Now, you can actually feature a video on your page. I'm going to show you that in another page that I do here. Let's see. You know what? Let's go to, I'm sure that probably Gary Vaynerchuk has a featured video. There we go. Yes, he does. This is what I mean by featured video. So you can have a video that is featured right at the top of your page here, right under the About section. And likely that one there is going to get a whole lot more views. It's going to be one of your top videos if you were to do something like that. The last piece that I really want you to pay attention to here is the People tab. So in the People tab, we have your fan breakdown. So we have women versus men, and we can see that all of my audience is women. Men, I think that's probably just our husbands because they're very supportive and they like our pages and they like our comments and all that kind of good stuff. Our audience is between 18 and 34. This is really important. We have very few that are older than 34 years old. Why is that important? Well, it's really, really important because when I'm going to be boosting a post or when I'm going to be running an ad, I'm going to be ensuring that my ad is only running to people between 18 and 34 years old. Or I may look at this and be like, whoa, that's way off. People who are 18 to 24 would hate my product, which in this case isn't true. But if that were true, I may be like, holy shit, I need to redo my Facebook audience. I need to redo my targeting. I'm targeting the wrong types of people and I'm attracting the types of people who are not going to be buying my stuff, which is probably why you're not getting much engagement. Down here as well, you want to make sure, I just sort of glance at this, but where are my fans from? Canada, US, all good. What types of cities are they from? So this is all good. It's mostly larger cities with the exception of Windsor. That's kind of where we're based out of. English, I like that because we speak English. Now we're going to go into people reached and we're going to see how this differs. Did you see how that differed? So we had 47% of our audience was 18 to 24, but if people reached, right, it's only 24.1%. Whereas this was right about equal. And we're reaching a few more people who are the 35 through 44 age range. Now, for us, we've done some testing. We kind of know why this is, and it's because a lot of our reps sit in this 35 to 44 age range. So our actual sales reps will, fall in there, and they like to see our posts and they spend a lot of time on our page. So of course we're going to reach more of them. But if yours is really off kilter like this, you might want to consider what types of people are you tailoring your content towards? Are you tailoring it towards the people who are actually hanging out on your page, or are you tailoring it towards a different type of audience? A lot of times people will tailor it to what they want to see. So for me, if I were to just post a bunch of stuff that I wanted to see, then my fans aren't going to be very engaged because they want to see something completely different. I'm not, 18 years old. I'm certainly not going to care about the same things that they do. So again, Canada, US, all good. Whereas the city that people are reached, all good. I am happy with that. And people engaged. So now we're doing a little bit better again in our 18 through 24. We're speaking to these people. We're speaking to the right audience. I like it. All right. Where are people engaged? We're almost equal between Canada and US. I like it because we've been really trying to expand more into the US and the cities that people are engaged. Not all that surprising that we have that uplift because that's hometown. But other than that, we're pretty equal, and we have a pretty good reach here, kind of across the across North America is what I should say. And English, yay! We're only mostly reaching English-speaking people, and only English-speaking people are engaging with our page, which is good. We're not speaking in pirate or something like that. So what I want to do here, I have a few more minutes left in this training, and what I wanted to do is I wanted to take you into your audience insights. So we're going to go into your ads manager, and then we're going to go into audience insights. Okay, so I go really in depth with this on my $39 training that I have, which is how to find out where your clients are hanging out on Facebook and get them to hang out on your page. If you're interested in that training, again, go to heatherprisnansky.com, go to webinar registration, scroll down to the bottom. It's only $39 to get that. And we're going to really dive into this. We're going to find out where your people are hanging out. We're going to see, what is it that they're doing? What types of posts are they liking? What types of content should I be posting, and how do I get those people onto my page? Really good information there. You should go on over there and get it. For now, what we're going to look at, though, we're going to go a little bit deeper into the insights and into your audience. So what I'm going to start with here is people connected to your page. Now, word of caution, most of you are not going to have any information when you input your page. You are going to get something that looks like this, with just this eye, and you're not going to get any of this information. Why? Because you don't have enough likes. Now, it'll tell you that you only need 1,000 likes to do this. Not true. You need closer probably to 10,000 likes for a lot of this information to generate, okay? So if this doesn't generate, that's okay. What I'm going to ask you to do next, I'm just going to run through this, and then I'm going to show you what you need to do if this isn't populating. So, this right here, this is very similar to what we just saw in Insights. So I'm going to skip past that because we already have that information. Relationship status. This is really great. So 75% of the people who like my page are single or in a relationship. 75%, that's pretty crazy, right? Sing is the majority on Facebook. Look at this. The light gray is Facebook users. 45% of Facebook users are married. 45%. For us, it's only 20%. Education level, they're high school or college. Not all that surprising given the age range. And I can actually go through here and I can see what job titles the majority of the people on my page have. Food prep, sales, admin, personal care, and retail are some of the top on my pages as far as what people are doing for their work. So what does this tell me? It tells me some good things about who is hanging out on my page. They're more so on blue collar. We don't have as many of the professionals, which is totally who we're after. It's totally our target market. But if this is way off, then you need to do something, right? If it's not your target market who you're going after, then that's something that you need to change. So if you're a coach and you don't have, entrepreneurs and business professionals and things like that in here, well, then you have a problem, my friend. Okay. Or if you have a bunch of other coaches. Some people just have a whole bunch of other coaches, and maybe that's not who you're looking at. The other thing that I want to look at here is activity. This is really important for me to show you. Oh, and something else I should have done. It defaults to United States. I should have also put in here Canada because we also serve Canada. Awesome. And now look at what that changed here. Pretty interesting because once I added Canada, these stats did change drastically. So keep in mind, I'm still in my page. Now what I want to do here is I want to pull down my age range. So I'm going to go 18 to 34. There we go. So, and I'm also going to go women. Cool. All right, so frequency of activities, lifetime, they've only like 70 pages lifetime. And in the last 30 days, they have commented on 42 posts. That's just over one per day. So if you're one of these people who are like, oh my gosh, nobody is commenting on my stuff, what do? I have 200 followers and I only got one comment. I need to stop fretting about it because that is not that bad. Think about it. Out of all of the people on your page, they have over 1,500 things that are competing for space in your newsfeed. And if you got that one comment that day, you should be celebrating. Like, yay, I got that person's comment. So now you want to look at how are you reaching more people? How are you getting a few more comments? But I don't want you to beat yourself up over it because people aren't doing a lot of commenting. They're not doing a lot of sharing and things like that. Obviously, they like when they comment or they share on. Ads clicked. For any of you that are Facebook ad haters, you need to get on Facebook ads. People are clicking on ads almost as much as they're commenting. They're clicking on ads more than they're sharing. You need to get on your Facebook ads. Okay, I do have a Facebook ads course that is opening up on Monday the 13th for registration on July 13th. You can go to heatherprasansky.com on the 13th to sign up for that program and save your spot. We start September 1st. And we're going to be looking at the new Facebook algorithm. We're going to be looking at how do you write your copy to best convert on your Facebook ads. We're doing a ton of testing, spending a ton of money on testing right now to test all of this stuff out. We're also going to be looking at things like Facebook dark posts. How do you use those things? How do you use an engagement ad versus a page like ad versus a video ad versus a click to website ad versus a website conversion ad? Okay, we're going to be looking at all of that. So I want you to head on over there on the 13th and sign up for that because it's going to be really important to your business. Device users. Here's the other thing here. Look at this. 0 of my users are desktop only. 0. They are all on mobile at some point during the day. So if my website is not mobile friendly, I'm losing. If my posts are not optimized for mobile and fitting the screen beautifully on mobile, I'm losing. So that's really important that you know what type of devices the people who are liking your page are on. Now, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to take out my page. Okay, so this changed a little bit. You can see there are a few Facebook users out there who are still desktop only between 18 and 34. And you can see also in the last 30 days, I'm really happy about this because the people who have liked my page are more engaged people than people who are on Facebook in general, not on my page. I'm really happy to see that. Super, super happy, in fact, because that means that I've got the right people on my page. They're people who want to be there. What I'm going to look at here, so if I do go back to the demographic here, you're going to find that some of this information is pretty similar, but I do have, it's not quite as accurate, but that's okay. Once you get your likes up on your page, you'll be able to get more in-depth information, but you can still get a great deal of information from this if your page is producing the little eyes, okay? And you can see even my page at 15, almost 16,000 likes, still we were getting a little eye in this section because we didn't have enough likes to create it. So it's really interesting. So I can see now from here that Apple Pie Families is the #1, which is middle-class couples with school-aged children who are homeowners, often minivan drivers, and avid radio listeners. Career building, et cetera, et cetera. So I can kind of guess at which of these are going to fit in with my target audience and what the majority of people in this 18 to 34 who are women demographic who live in the United States and Canada are fitting into. Okay, so I want you to use this in addition to your Facebook Insights page to really dive in and get deep with what it is that your audience is composed of. And I want you to consider, is this the right audience for me? Is it not the right audience for me? And really make sure that you're focusing on getting the right people on your page. So I hope that you enjoyed this training. I really enjoyed doing this for you. If you want to check out my stuff further, I really highly suggest that you join my Facebook group. So I do run a free mastermind group. It is a small, cozy group. We don't take everyone. There's absolutely no spamming allowed in this group. It is all for asking your social media related questions. We do a lot of reviewing individual Facebook profiles. We do a lot of reviewing individual Facebook ads. We look at Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, Tumblr, the whole bit. We look at your blogs, your landing pages, anything having to do with digital and social media. We look at that there, and it's completely free. You can participate in the discussion. All you need to do to join that group, go to heatherpristansky.com and just click on sign up for my free mastermind. So I'm going to take you there so that you can see where to go. So heatherpristansky.com. And join my social media mastermind. Okay. In here, you can sign up. You can see some of the trainings that we're doing in that group. It's all very casual. You can sign up for access to the group, and then it's going to take you to a place where you can click on the group and you can request access to that. All right. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye.